everybody, and welcome to another Inside Lowell podcast. I am your host, Teddy Panos, coming to you from the WellPoint Studios here in beautiful downtown Lowell. Unicare is now WellPoint, new name, same commitment to Massachusetts and to its members. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. And I want to thank our friends at WellPoint for making this podcast, all of our Inside Lowell podcasts possible, along with our friends at the Washington Savings Bank. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. TMI Properties, from affordable to luxurious, apartments for all. Boston North Company, business solutions for restaurant and retail. Mahoney Oil, providing warmth and protection to Greater Lowell since 1925. Francis E. Preventure Insurance, the agency you've counted on for more than 41 years. And last but certainly not least, our friends at the Massachusetts Pirates, bringing all the hard-hitting action and excitement of arena football to the Tsongas Center in downtown Lowell. And with that, I want to bring in our special guest as we go inside the Pirates on this podcast. He is the host of the Massachusetts Pirates, Coach Rod Miller, joining us on the Zoom line. Coach, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I was excited. We took the family, my two young kids and some cousins, to the game last night, and we had a great time, as we have all year, and we came away with a win that actually wasn't in doubt, so we got to celebrate the last couple of minutes. I bet you probably enjoyed that part of it more than I did.
Oh, most definitely. It's always good. I've already, lost all my hair, so I don't have any more to lose with those last-minute victories. But, yeah, it actually felt good to get a game that we had, control of at the end, and then we can, kind of start to celebrate a little bit early, especially being our last regular season home game for the season.
Yeah, you guys really did seem to seize control of that game early. And the good thing is you clinched a playoff berth, which I imagine when you set your goals out at the start of the year, obviously the top one is winning a championship, but to get there, you got to meet a bunch of others along the way. The first one has to be making the playoffs, right?
Yeah, most definitely. You can't win a championship if you don't make the playoffs. So that's always our first goal is to get to the playoffs. And then now when the playoffs start, then your goal from there is to try to go undefeated and win a championship.
Yeah, and you guys, it's been an interesting season. You started red hot, I believe 4-0. Then you hit kind of a rough patch in the middle, ended up at 500. And now, dare I say, you seem to have righted the ship a little bit, if you'll pardon the pun. But is that the sense you got to? Is your team now playing the way you want them to play heading into the most important time of the season?
Yeah, we did hit a little low for a minute, especially we have a lot of new guys, and so trying to get our groove. And, that was unfortunate. I mean, like I said, of the losses that we have, the 6 losses, 3 of those losses, we lost 2 because we missed a last-minute field goal, and we lost 1 because the other team made a last-minute field goal. So you can look at that, and ideally we could be right now, 8-3, but we're not. So we just got to make sure we're getting our stride now and keep playing. You want to be hot at the end of the season as compared to the beginning of the season. So we want to end hot now because, like I said, once you get to the playoffs, you have to go undefeated. So if we can peak at the time right now, heading to the playoffs, that's going to be beneficial for us.
Yeah, and it looks like the team has kind of established an identity. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but you got a lot of talent at quarterback and at receiver, but it looks like the last month you're really focusing on pounding the ball and putting the ball in Jimmy Robinson's hands as kind of your offensive identity. Conversely, your defense is really playing well as well. I think you've been either number 2 or number 3 statistically in the entire league.
Yeah, we've been defensively anywhere from 1 to 2 to 3 throughout the whole season. Offensively, we had some injuries, and we got some guys finally catching the groove. But like you said, Jimmy is not just the best back on this team. He's the best player in this league, I believe, hands down. So when you have somebody like that, you have to run your offense through him. And as he goes, we go. So it's kind of tough, especially in this game here. It's a passing league. So when teams try to take away the pass, it does leave the run game open. And we have a back like that. It's definitely been beneficial for us. We're going to keep riding our cash cow as long as we can.
Yeah, and did I see correctly last night? He got his 50th touchdown of the season as part of that game. Did I see that correctly?
But not of the season. It was for the last 2 years. He's had 3 touchdowns. Yes, sir. But, even that's a huge number in this game. Like I said, this is a passing game. So when a passing league, so you can get that many touchdowns running the ball, that's really huge. So the things he's doing, what he's performing right now, that's compared to being almost like a 2,000-yard rusher in the outdoor game. So he's doing some good things for us right now.
How did you end up being the head coach in a passing league? Your background recently before coming here was defense. This must drive you nuts.
I've been knowing that. It's been around for a long time. Like I said, so I started off as a special teams coordinator, and I was an offensive coordinator for a long time. So, getting here and getting to defense, that's kind of what our defense is based off of, things that I knew I used to like to do when I was offensive coordinator and trying to take things away. But I love that challenge. When they say it's not meant to be a defensive league, we do our best to try to make it that way. And, like I said, as long as we can get stops defensively and get the ball back into our offensive hands, we can do some things.
You actually coached in Vegas last year, which I imagine is a fun city to be in. I don't know how much fun it is to coach young men in that city, but now here you find yourself in our city, the Mill City of Lowell, Massachusetts. Any comparison between the two? Which one has the better nightlife, Coach?
Well, it's definitely Vegas going to have the better nightlife. It's something to do. But, when you get these guys, like I said, it was a challenge. But, those guys they wanted to be successful. So those guys didn't run the streets. And because if you do, you'll lose all your money in a heartbeat. So, that's one thing I'm proud about, being there last year and being here. When I came here, my goal, because in Vegas last year, we had the #1 defense in the league. So my goal when I came here was to do the same thing here on the Eastern side and Eastern Conference. So we've been able to do that. So that's what I'm proud of. And we can just keep getting better and try to get a championship.
Who makes the schedule in your league? You played a Monday night game, which was the latest you've played in the week. Now you got to turn around and play 6 days later, actually 5 days later, and then you have a bye week. It would have been nice to have the bye week after your Monday night game, right?
Yeah, most definitely. It's definitely tough. I even feel, for Quad City, because they got to go back and fly home, then play a game. At least we were at home. But, yeah, it makes it tough. We got a short week. But when you get to this point of the season, you're cutting down some practice time and try to save the guys' legs and things like that because it's a short turnaround. So, like you said, yeah, playing 2 games in 5 to 6 days, it's tough, physically and mentally. So we got to do our part just to make mental practices this week, kind of can save the legs so we can be fresh and ready to go on Saturday night.
I was going to ask, how do you prepare for this short turnaround? Do you kind of take the foot off the pedal a little bit, let these guys, their bodies heal and kind of hope for the best? Because you do have the bye week after this weekend, which is good.
Right. That's what you do. What we're doing right now, like I said, this week we're not going to lift weights. We usually lift weights during the week. We're not going to do that because it's a short week. We're not going to go full pads, because we really got 2 days of practice this week. So this is kind of more of a mental practice, getting our responsibilities done, knowing the assignments and the game plan, and just like I said, getting our legs back under us.
Is there any chance you guys get to host a home playoff game? What is it? Is it the top 4 teams in each conference make the playoffs and top 2 get the home game?
Right. The only way for us, right now we're competing. It looks like we're probably going to end up being the #3 seed. And that there is still a slim chance with us being a 3 seed. If the #4 seed defeats the #1 seed in the playoffs and we win our playoff game, then we will host because we'll be the highest seeded team left to host a game. So, we're sure playing for it. We're trying to shoot for it. And like I said, a lot of things have to fall into place, but anything is possible. As long as you got a 1% chance, you got a chance.
All right. Well, we're all rooting for you because I'm going to tell you, I've been to 5 of the home games and my son absolutely loves it. He's gotten to the point where he's watching them on YouTube now as well when you're on the road. So congratulations on making the playoffs, and we're glad to have you and the rest of the gang here in the Mill City. Good luck the rest of the way. Let's just keep winning, Coach.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Glad to be here, and thank you for having me.
All right. That is Massachusetts Pirates head coach Rod Miller joining us here on our Inside the Pirates podcast. We thank him. We thank you for joining us here at Inside Lowell. As we like to say, Inside Lowell. If Lowell is your home, this is your place. Till next time, be safe.